flexion and extension. Flexion is bending an arm and leg, physical position that decreases the angle between the bones of the limb at a joint. The muscles involved in flexion is the brachialis, biceps brachii, and brachioradialis. Extension is the movement that increases the angle between two body parts. The muscles involved are anterior deltoid, pectoralis major, and coracobrachialis. Abduction and adduction. Abduction is the movement away from the midline, and adduction is the movement of a body part towards the midline. During adduction, the muscles involved are pectoralis major, latissimus dorsi, teres major, triceps, and coracobrachialis. In abduction, the muscles involved are supraspinatus, deltoid, trapezius, and serratus anterior. Wrist flexion and extension. Wrist flexion describes the movement of bending the palm down towards the wrist. The muscles involved are flexor carpi ulnaris, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, and flexor digitorum superficialis. Wrist extension describes the movement of raising the back of the hand. The muscles involved are extensor carpi radialis longus, extensor carpi radialis brevis, and ulnaris. Radial deviation and ulnar deviation. Radial deviation is otherwise known as radial flexion. It is the movement of bending the wrist to the thumb or radial bone side. The muscles involved are flexor carpi radialis, flexor carpi radialis longus, and brevis. Ulnar deviation, otherwise known as ulnar flexion, is the movement of bending the wrist to the little finger or ulnar bone side. The muscles involved are flexor carpi ulnaris and extensor carpi ulnaris. They work together to cancel the flexion and extension and instead pull toward the ulna. Next is dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. Dorsiflexion is the action of raising the foot upwards towards the shin. The muscles involved are tibialis anterior, extensor hallucis longus or EHL, and extensor digitorum longus or EDL. Plantar flexion is the movement in which the top of your foot points away from your leg. The muscles involved are soleus, gastrocnemius, and plantaris. Inversion and eversion. Inversion refers to the movement that tilts the sole of the foot towards the midline of the body, while eversion refers to the movements that tilt the sole of the foot away from the midline of the body. During eversion, the muscles involved are fibularis brevis and fibularis longus, while in inversion, the muscles involved are tibialis anterior and tibialis posterior.